All right, so I'm going to make a video about panic drops. Now, if you haven't watched Quickfingers Luc's videos, I highly recommend searching YouTube for QFL Trading or Quickfingers Luc. I'm going to assume that you've watched all of his videos at least once. And with that, let's get started. So right here, I've got an indicator that is a stochastic RSI that has alerts on it. This is free. It's called Horkup Panic Stochastic RSI, something along those lines, and you can find it on TradingView. I'm on a 4-hour chart with this. That's really important. And I want you, also I'm using Vinny's QFL indicator. I think he's changed his name to ProSum Solutions and he charges for it now, but I'm not going to be focusing on that. What I want you to focus on are these panic alerts. Now, these are not signals, okay? And there's a method to trading these panic alerts. Now, I've got another indicator that I'm going to show you that has been kind of like my recent secret sauce. So you're going to want to stick around because I'm going to show you a little bit. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you enough to, get your hands on some fun stuff. But with that said, anytime that we are in a quote-unquote panic, right, you're probably going to see one of these red dots. Now, in this case right here, here's a perfect example of the red dots. Now, there are rules to using this particular indicator, the panic indicator, and that is that we need to have cracked a base. In this case, as you can see, here is a quote-unquote base, right? And yeah, you got a red dot, but it's above the base. So I disqualify this as a panic alert. Same with here. I'm going to disqualify that. Now, this right here, it only went down 5% below what I would consider to be a base right here, and it came back up. So I'm waiting for this. This is when I would use the indicator, and it started right here, and as you can see, it continued further down. So how I would trade this is, right, as it comes further down and I see the red dot, that's when I begin to place my layers. And I also have this measurement right here. So if you want to consider this the base, that's fine. But I know that about right here is 45% off the base, right? This is wholesale prices. I'm treating this like Black Friday. And I want to get a really good deal. 10% off is not a good deal. 15, 20% is an okay deal, right? But when we get into the 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45% off, now that's a good deal. Additionally, in another video that I've made, I'm not going to go into full detail, but if it comes down and it comes to crack this base and come back up, but it's not like shooting back up, I'm not getting a big buyer reaction, I will move this base down to right here. And so I know that's about 5-10% off. And so you could say that the price has come down to about 30% off, meaning that if I'm going to get a good deal, I want to get 50% off around here. So I've got more size waiting down here. Additionally, I've read the chart and I know with Dogecoin that we kind of have a little bit of a gap right here at about 8-9 cents. And what that means is I'm expecting price to come down that far. And so even though, right, here's 50% off, I'm still going to be very hesitant to put all my money in, knowing that it could come down here. Excuse me. And so I'm going to save some size for down here, but this was just an absolute drop. If we were to measure this right now, let's take a look at this. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? So 40% is a good deal on Doge. Now, with that said, you can see here that I got a red dot starting right here, and you could say, is this the base? Well, this is where I'm going to show you the other indicator, because this is going to help you in times where that doesn't really look like a panic, even though, hey, it kind of somewhat returned to right here, where you could consider this to be a new base, right? It kind of touched up right there. And then it kind of grinded its way down, and you're seeing there's the little red dots. And you're like, hey, I didn't get a red dot right here, and then it shot back up. QFL does not recommend trading with indicators, but if you are versed in indicators, one might consider this to be divergence, where right here, the stochastic RSI has come down and touched the bottom. And then price continues to make new lows, right? Here's the low, and then here's the lower low, and yet the indicator seems to not be able to touch back down. So I know that the sellers are exhausted right here. So you could have bought right here, but this is not QFL trading. This is not a panic dive. You feel me? Even right here, this isn't a panic dive just because there's a little red dot. So this other indicator solves a little bit of that problem, okay? And we're going to take a look at it. And I'm not going to tell you this particular indicator because this is my secret sauce, but this is very similar to a momentum indicator, very basic momentum indicator. And what you would do is you'd load a momentum indicator onto here where 0 is in the center. Positive numbers, if you look at the scale on the right, you see these positive numbers. That's bullish momentum up, and then anything below the 0 point is bearish momentum down. And for the indicator, I really prefer a 10-minute chart. Now, if you don't have a 10-minute chart, you can use a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart. But on a 10-minute chart, my momentum indicator would be set at around 24 periods, okay? Now, if it's a 5-minute chart, then maybe you'd increase the momentum periods to be 48 periods, okay? And if it's a 15-minute chart, then you might decrease the periods to be maybe 20, 18, somewhere around in there. But this is what we're going to do. You see I've got a line right here, and I've got a line right here. Now, you can see right here that it has crossed up, and I would consider this to be a great place to sell some of my Doge. If it crosses this line, I'm going to sell some Doge. And guess what? If it crosses this line, then I'm going to buy some Doge. But I want you to understand something, that these are not signals, they are alerts. And so I would begin to set my layers, but instead of nibbling, maybe I might get a little bit of size. So we're going to come back to a really great time when it's crossed down really far like this. And this was May 19th. And look at that panic drop. So I would have gotten an alert. And let's see if I can get this loaded up. There we go. So in this case, this line may be like right here, but the moment that it crosses that line, I'm going to start layering. And the reason that I like this indicator is if you're like me, when I first started out, I had a hard time reading candlesticks because I don't know really well. Like, for instance, right here, here's May 8th. Let's take a look at the price. What a panic drop. You feel me? So I got an alert, and then I started layering down, boom, 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 boom. And I was able to get a decent amount of size right here. And then let's measure this out, right? So let's say I've got size all the way down to right here. And look at that, that's 25%. And so that's more than enough of a bounce back up for me to let go of those coins, okay? And then I would keep my profits in Dogecoin. And, maybe I might have sold some Doge right here. But at any rate, it's really important that you understand that they are not signals. You do not put your whole portfolio in right there. You will get wrecked. And then you can see right here, it dropped down, and there we go. So, I might loosen, or better yet, tighten this up right here, right, to 12, and I'll get an alert. And maybe you could have multiple horizontal lines on your favorite pairs with your momentum indicator, so that it's not just a base crack alert that you're getting, but a base crack alert with a panic alert. And what this indicates is that price is moving down really fast. It's a lot easier for me to get my panic alerts and then look at the chart than it is for me to get base crack alerts, because I'll get a ton of base crack alerts and they don't mean much to me. The thing that you really want to understand with all of this is that right now, where we're currently at, right? This is a moment when, let's take a look at Bitcoin. And let's go to this chart. You could say, right, that price is panic diving. That might look like a panic if you zoom in and you make it look like that. But as far as I'm concerned, I know that since I haven't gotten my panic alerts on other charts, I have, panic alerts set up. I know that the market is not panic diving, because when my alerts fire off, my panic alerts are just going boom, 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 boom. Every single pair is going off. Boom, 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 boom. Alert, alert, alert. Panic dive at, 1 depth. Panic dive at 2 depth, 3 depth, 4 depth. Like, I can set up multiple panic alerts, and so I can know the severity of how far we're dropping. So I think that's enough information for this video. And I might make a couple more videos on this, but I think that should suffice to just kind of think outside of the box and think about the momentum of a drop like this. In fact, here we'll say right here, May 19th. Let's look at what Bitcoin would have looked like if you would have used this indicator. And let's go to May 19th. Oh, can you see what I'm talking about? Look at that drop right there. So it's one of those things where I'm just testing stuff out, and this happened to work for me, but I'm showing it to you because it's been helping me to get size in the right place. If I don't see a panic alert, I'm not getting excited to get a bunch of size. And you can always test things out with paper trading. You can always test things out with small amounts of money, and I highly recommend doing that when you're testing out new stuff like this. So again, I hope this video helped, and good luck trading.